Valmiki Ramayana, Bala Kanda, Book 1, Sarga 27, Canto 27. The birth of Tadaka. When thus the sage, without a peer, had closed that story strange to hear, Rama again the saint addressed, to set one lingering doubt at rest. O holy men, 'tis said by all that spirit's strength is weak and small. How can she match, of power so slight, 1,000 elephants in might? And Vishwamitra thus replied to Raghu's son, the glorified. Listen, and I will tell thee how she gained the strength that arms her now. A mighty spirit lived of yore. Suketu was the name he bore. Childless was he, and free from crime. In rites austere he passed his time. The mighty sire was pleased to show his favor and a child bestow. Tadaka named, most fair to see, a pearl among the maids was she, and matched for such was Brahma's dower, 1,000 elephants in power. Nor would the eternal sire, although the spirit longed, a son bestow. That maid, in beauty's youthful pride, was given to Sunda for a bride. Her son Maricha was his name, a giant through a curse became. She, widowed, dared with him molest Agastya, of all saints the best. Inflamed with hunger's wildest rage, roaring she rushed upon the sage. When the great hermit saw her near, on speeding in her fierce career, he thus pronounced Maricha's doom, a giant's form and shape assume, and then by mighty anger swayed, on Tadaka this curse he laid. Thy present form and semblance quit, and wear a shape thy mood to fit. Changed form and feature by my ban, a fearful thing that feeds on men. She, by his awful curse possessed, and mad with rage that fills her breast, has on this land her fury dealt, where once the saint Agastya dwelt. Go Rama, smite this monster dead, the wicked plague of power so dread. And further, by this deed of thine, the good of Brahmans and of kine, thy hand alone can overthrow in all the worlds this impious foe. Nor let compassion lead thy mind to shrink from blood of womankind. A monarch's son must ever count the people's welfare paramount. And whether pain or joy he deal, they're all things for his subjects' will. Yea, if the deed bring praise or guilt, if life be saved or blood be spilt, such through all time should be the care of those a kingdom's weight who bear. Slay Rama, slay this impious fiend, for by no law her life is screened. So Mantara, as bards have told, Virochan's child was slain of old by Indra when in furious hate she longed the earth to devastate. So Kavya's mother, Brigu's wife, who loved her husband as her life, when Indra's throne she sought to gain, by Vishnu's hand of yore was slain. By these and high-souled kings beside, struck down, have loveless women died. Valmiki Ramayana Ki Jai. Footnotes 41. This is one of those indefinable mythic personages who are found in the ancient traditions of many nations, and in whom cosmogonical or astronomical notions are generally figured. Thus it is related of Agastya that the Vindhyan mountains prostrated themselves before him. And yet the same Agastya is believed to be regent of the star Canopus. Goratio. And end quote. Goratio. He will appear as the friend and helper of Rama farther on in the poem. Interesting stuff. Again, star Canopus, they just don't want to give Sanskrit name. Now I have to go research and find out what star canopus is in Sanskrit. I hate these kind of um, translations where important words, the names of things, are translated into Latin rather than Sanskrit. Why don't you do both so we can know both? This is really just fanciful use, unnecessary fanciful use of words. Okay, you're translating Sanskrit texts. At least keep the names, Sanskrit names, in Sanskrit. Don't translate them into some Latin that nobody knows. Just so you can sound fancy. So, of course, they have to use the word mythic. The whole purpose is to the whole purpose of using this word is to discredit Ramayana as a historical book. That's all it is to discredit the ancient histories. Because those histories were so far in the past that is even mind-boggling to think about. How far in time those those things happened when God descends to earth and performs amazing, glorious pastimes in order the people can remember them and in this way purify themselves and in this way gain merit, in this way develop virtues, in this way develop so many good qualities of a human being. Okay, this is the purpose of those histories, and to call them mythic mythologies is very, very offensive, rude, ignorant, foolish, idiotic, brazen, stupid, and so on. So, our Ralph Griffith did an awesome job translating this particular Sarga of Ramayana. Very beautiful. The problem is that he, with his buddies, like this dude Goresio, they have to interpret the text as a mythology. That's the biggest problem we have. Because once you start using this word mythology, then everything is gonna be minimized. Everything is just some beautiful bedtime stories to relax and to chill and to have some fun, and there is nothing to see there besides some beautiful poetry. But if you accept the fact that Rama was the real person, was God incarnate on the planet 1.5 million years ago, then this beautiful British poetry fits very beautifully in narrating such amazing incidences and activities, then yes, then you can use this kind of poetry, this beautiful poetry, to describe God and His activities like this. This is not just some bedtime stories to feel good. These are the histories of things that happened not only on this planet Earth, but it happened on other planets, because every planet, every star that we see at night is inhabited by a higher multidimensional super beings, superhumans, called demigods, and great yogic sages whose merits and virtues are so exalted that they wield power so immense that we, in comparison to them, are like ants. We can't even comprehend the greatness of these living entities, higher living entities that inhabit the whole universe. And all these demons described here, like Maricha, like Tadaka, they all gained power because of great austerities they performed. And then Lord Brahma came to visit them, to bestow boons upon them. So this is the story how Tadaka gained her boons from Lord Brahma. And now Rama is gonna get ready after he found out about her. He's gonna get ready to kill her, although she's a woman, because she assumed a terrible form of a Rakshasi, or the man-eater, and is nuisance to the great sages. Then she has to be killed, and now Rama is gonna get ready to kill the woman. And Vishwamitra is telling Rama to not have compassion because she's a woman, because she did so many atrocities and she deserves to be killed. So Rama is going to do just that in the next chapter. So Valmiki Ramayana, Bala Kanda, Book 1, Sarga 27, Canto 27, The Birth of Tadaka. Ramayana ki jai. Ciao.